School of Theology. Having said that, I have served as a founding teacher for Nigerians for 15 years plus. Then with the National Examination Council as assistant examination 15 years. Also, an activist. I spoke on behalf of less than 300 men and women who were marginalized by the health department in Lower Maldives in 2014. So I hear from the Liberian for Prosperity Party, last running mate to Honorable Richard Miller. We here to talk to Liberians. Liberians is mad. Liberians are privileged to enjoy life that other people do in other countries. The days of arcade lifestyles are past, and we can ensure Liberians better education, good agriculture, good securities, lucrative jobs, many companies, infrastructure, local activities.
All right, E-Mac Slavon Jr. hails from Nimba. His early life spent in Nimba, moved on to Monrovia, then into Ghana, West Africa, and has gone to school. He got a certificate while in Ghana. Now he's a student at the University of Liberia. He's also studying theology partially. He's worked for West African Examinations Council. He and his people, his leader, believe in education, agriculture, security, roads, and all the goods that we need to get us moving. E-Mike Slavon for VP, October the 10th. Now after E-Mike, we should have Jewel Howard Taylor. She says she's not going to go ahead yet in community. So she will lose out on this one. We're feeling now, today is the last. The money we have is finished. So, Max Bagwele. Yeah. I get the Bagwele will go today. I'll see you now.
Hello, everybody.
Hey man, the Bagwele candidate, you can wait. Yeah man.
I want everybody to listen carefully today. We have a program.
All right. Now, if you are ready, Dr. Max Bagwele, you may proceed at 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you all for our first much accomplished or acknowledged that government is not my friend, but what belongs to them, I give it to them. So don't hold me for that, please. They kept our peace and we must protect it. That's my way of congratulating them. I must also extend sympathy to the sedition in this house or in the radio land or TV world for the death of the 4 people that we are hearing that died on the freeway. It is unfortunate in this kind of celebration somebody will die. I must also thank our moderators that are here to put our programs together. Without them, you will not hear me and you will not know who I am and what I need to be. My name is Dr. Max Bagwele. I am a neurologist. I studied from Bowagore Elementary School in Nama to Simadin in Banga and then Simiri in Sanakwe before I went to Tolman National Institute. Even though I studied some area at the University of Liberia, but I only got credit to go abroad. I began neurology between San Francisco State and California State. All of them prepared me with samples to become a neurologist. But also it's very clear for me to tell you more something. There is just some 20 issues that I've talked about. The CDC Vice President, every time we have this conversation, she is proving my point. The Vice President that do not make decisions correctly for the interest of the nation, but for their party. This is where I go wrong with every on one of the VP, and I will be invoking them for all to get the power, just like the president, to raise decisions that can benefit our country, not just the president. I'm not in it for my vice standard bearer or my standard bearer, we Sheikh Kuyate. I'm in it for the nation. And decisions that are made within will be in the interest of the nation. You have more to hear. We have more to go. And also, I would like to talk to our former Vice President Boakai. He has always been the man who come up with crazy talk. He said he will try Ellen Johnson for crime that he and Ellen Johnson communicate. What law will he try Ellen Johnson under and leave himself off? Those are crazy things. And recently he went on the radio, he told the people, again he will cut off 400 of the civil servant. We are looking for people to go to work. Why will you cut down job? Where are we heading? Thank you all.
Okay. Why are you laughing like that, man? All right. Vagbili. No, the old man has always been dramatic. He's not going to be a weak vice president. No way. He started from day one. He will argue with the president. You're not hiding it. He said that I got bone to pick with Joel Taylor. Look at her. She don't even come for debate. Then she talking about party. That the way you will do country bene? That the way you can run country party not talk, you can't talk? And I agree with her. Woman Bogapa, I can't talk that same thing. The man got boon to pick with Baka. He said, Baka always talking something that not correct, but he don't agree with them. That you heard there. He actually went to school in Nama Bonkanto from he played there. He moved to St. Mary's in San Nicolas. Then he went abroad. He's a neurologist. Many people may not know that word because it's not common. When you reach that point, you're going home. Brain and heart business. He made a work on brain and heart. He said, but that one not important here. If all those things make sense to you, we're almost there. October is here already. On the 10th, don't forget. Be thinking about Vaglio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on Ducor debates, the round for self-introduction is over. May you give them a big hand clap. All right. All right, now, next segment, the trending issues. Each person will get 10 minutes. You don't have to finish it. Where you reach, the tin ring will call you off. Huh? That machine. So, we'll start the same way with the 10 minutes on the trending issues. The two women will lead that one there real quick. The two women that say we're not giving them power. They too, they're trying to take all the power now. So, Mrs. Ciara Scott Johnson and Evelyn Sibek will lead this in alphabetical order from Brown to Vagbili again. 10 minutes each. Thank you.
I need help. I'm so short. Morning. Morning again, everybody. So we'll start with the national issues. This is how it's going to work. Each candidate or each of these vice presidential candidates will respond to these things here in 10 minutes. But like he said, we don't have to cover everything. So selectively, we'll be throwing these things all to them to get their responses. So we'll start with Madam Celia Coffey Brown. You know, when we were in high school, when certain questions came during our quizzing tournaments and debate, when we said, oh, that's a baby question. So we'll start with the first one, the role of the vice president, the post that you are trying to go into.
The role of vice president is very, very important. I think even it's a little bit more than that of, the president represents, but the vice president's job is dual. The vice president assists the president in the day-to-day activities. Also, the vice president is a liaison between the Senate, the legislators, and the executive. The vice president attends cabinet meetings. The vice president is the one who is over the deliberation of the senators, and the vice president doesn't vote. But when there's a tie, then the vice president breaks the tie. So vice presidents are not just packed into garages. They're not cars that are packed into garages. Their work is very tedious, because they are between both houses. Vice president also deals with charitable issues and also deals with projects that are given by the president. So that's just a little nutshell. So your vice president got to be tough.
Thank you. So let's look at the issue of drugs and substance
just a follow-up.
abuse.
So what new idea are you bringing in this vice presidential role?
Well, you know what happened? That this is one of the reasons why we're having debates. We have these debates so you come and know us as citizens. You don't just cast your vote like that. I've worked at the port authorities. I've worked at the housing authority. Those are institutions that represent the Republic of Liberia, not just a county. So with that knowledge and also being educated and also having administrative experience that brings profitability to corporations, I am qualified. Not only that, it's not just the educational part or the work experience, it's also the spiritual part, because leadership comes from God. That's one of the fundamental reasons why our country is having a lot of problems.
So you're bringing spirituality in your role as a vice president?
Well, you know what happened? In the Bible, Daniel, it's talk about Daniel. Daniel worked in the government, and he had a spirit of excellence because he was a servant of the living God. Joseph also worked in the government. Deborah also worked in the government as a judge. So this is not unique to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to the issue of drugs quickly. Drugs abuse, the fate of Liberian youth.
Drugs is, all around the world, but our country is very small. When we secure our borders, when we pay our securities adequately, then obviously we are on the road to solving the drugs problem.
How do you do that?
Now, that means you want to know my strategy, and everybody else will know my strategy. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. How we would do it, I'll just give you
an idea. Yes.
Bird-eye view is that whoever travel along the highway here, you see a lot of you see a lot of securities there. So if you see securities there, why do the drugs end up in our country? You see the ports authority, you see the airport there, those are borders. So those are entry points where the drugs enter. So if we pay our security adequately, where they don't make $90 per month, you are facilitating, you are giving them strength for them to be able to curb all these things, even though it may not be 100%, because this is not unique only to our country. But with a country that is only 5 million people, we can get it done.
The issue about Liberia, continuous attitude of importing rice, government subsidizing all of the rice importers. Should you get to that position as a vice president, what consultation are you going to have? What's your plan, or which side you think would be better for this country? Continue importing rice, or let's invest in agriculture? What would be your own strategy?
My strategy, thank God I have worked in public operations. If you go back to them, even now, not only here, but in the USA too, they're profitable, organizations. When you talk about agriculture, I will just give you an example. The people from Firestone, they came here to plant because we have good soil. The people, GVL, Sam Darby, all these people come from their country to come here because we have good soil. Okay, why is it that on our own as a government we cannot do it? We import puts our arrest. Why is it that each county cannot have a specialty? These people, they are farming, but on the farms, they have houses there for people. So if we create farms here, in every county we have youth there. We can do youth services. You know, every youth can have an opportunity to work on this farm, maybe for 2 hours a day, but it can be a part of their curriculum. We are able to do it now. We have a whole roadmap for that, and it can be done. The only reason I know this can work out is because when I came from America, I didn't go to managing director job immediately, even though the president wanted to send me, but I wanted to affect the lives of the youth in this country. So we went West Point, Yucatan, PHP, all those places. That's how the maritime beach, the beach cleaning thing came about. The youth worked, 2 hours, but we pay them money. When we pay them money, they have money to take care of their daily needs, but at the same time, the beaches were clean. They were working with the government. So we can do the same thing with agriculture too, instead of giving subsidy to foreign business people, but we will always do that. People want to do that, and that's why we want to stop, because they want to get caught. This is not about courts. This is about our country. We need to stand up.
This is about our country. Let's look at education. Education is the bedrock of any society. What will you bring to the table to help fix our education system?
I'm glad that the youth in this room here, we don't see old people. I see young people. Remember, after high school, I went to ABTI. We had BWI here. I went to BWI for 10th and 11th grade. And then before I went to BW Harris, I got sick. And my parents didn't want me to go far away from them. But I'm telling you, you learn trade there. We can do that to all of our high school. What about Topmore High? When you graduate from high school, then you can be working. When you're working, then you can take your time, to go to college. It is, you have to plan your life, but the government have to facilitate, we have to have institutions that will facilitate your plans. Like I did secretarial science. That secretarial science that I used at age 21, I was making $350. At age 23, I was making $500 because I knew how to type. So that the money I used to go to further myself in college. Then before I left, I went to America. I still worked and went to school. So but we have to create jobs for the young people. We have to create jobs for them. We have to bring in multinational corporations here, a partner with them. This is not rocket science. This is something that can be done, for new technology, for new trend. Those things can be done.
The last question about general infrastructure development. What is your plan? What are the priorities?
When I said leadership is from God, God also has training ground. Right now, I'm vying for vice presidents, for the vice presidency of the Republic of Liberia. I've been asked by Robert F. Morris to be his running mate. But I tell you, God prepared me. I work at the National Port Authority. Port and infrastructure development is very important. Our free port is, everything is absolute there. Even our channel, where the ships can come to the channel. Right now, the ships are big. They're huge. So because if our channel cannot facilitate those ships, they're not coming into our ports. They're going to the ports that can accommodate them. So it's good that I worked there. It's good that we did plenty of work there. It's good that even those that want to partner with us, I challenge them. That's how we're getting the millions today. Not only that, what about roads? We need roads too, because we need farm to market road, but we won't prioritize only road. We need to prioritize human capital development. Human resources. We need to we need to enhance the quality of life of our youth. Again, ports are essential. It's not rocket science. If we want to make millions, that's what can happen.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, in alphabetical order, I think you sit already in that order. So we just take Mr. Alex Conti. Conti. Welcome, Alex. Let me start with you with the health sector. Our poor health sector, what are your strategies and plans just in case you become the deputy president?
Well, thank you again. I like this rapid fire kind of a format here. But I thought we were going to, get back to where we started from, about the role of the vice president. Notwithstanding, I would take the health sector. And everybody in this room would attest that the health delivery system in this country is obsolete. It's almost non-existent. So what we've planned to do, the Appleton and Gonti's administration, is to reform our entire healthcare delivery system. I know we got a lot of buildings that has been built out there, we call hospitals, but are they really hospitals? Are they delivering the kind of health care that we need? No. So we have our citizens leaving from here to go nearby to Ghana to do medical checkup, to visit the doctors. What is wrong with Liberia? We have the Phoebe Medical Center over there. We have JFK, two of the most prominent that I can remember. And I know they have built a lot as well. Why are those hospitals not functioning? Beats me. So our administration will make sure that those hospitals are functioning with all of the doctors that they need and all of the bells and whistles that a hospital needs.
So we just want to know the how. That's why the question is, how are you going to do that? What is wrong right now? What are you going to do better?
Well, first off, we'll have to look at I'm a business person. So we'll look at income and expenditure. What is the income of Liberia? How is this income being delivered to the various ministries or the various agencies that need them? We're going to look into them and we're going to prioritize what we have. Now, I found out that, we ask other countries to come and help us. We can ask for AIDS. We can ask for the IMF to step in. I know that's another topic we want to get in. But IMF, have allocations for countries. But what we have found out over the year is that the allocations that are given by IMF is not being appropriated to these services that we need. Hence, they are all decadent and they are not operational. So we have to look at that keenly.
Let's come to one issue, Liberia sexuality controversy. Gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual. Which way you think Liberia should go in this present contemporary times?
Good question. Let me just admit, full disclosure, I'm a heterosexual male. I have a wife and 2 children. And I think the tradition here in Liberia is just this tradition where we have the wife and the husband and the wife, and we build up a family. I believe that our purpose here is to procreate. Those asexual, bisexual, and all of the things that you just mentioned, they're inimical to societal growth. And we find ourselves in a society now where the West is infiltrating, traditional countries now with all of these kind of sexuality. There is room for curing these things. I don't want to get deep into it before, I start stepping on some toes. But those are things that are happening in our country that we have to pay attention to.
So
and go ahead.
Should any new conversation about a passage to give rights to those people, if selected as a vice president, what way Liberia should go?
First of all, we got to look at our population and the will of the people, whether they are in tune into, these kind of things, gay, bisexual. The population of Liberia, I think they frown on that right now as I stand. So I don't have any problem with gay people, that's what happens in your bedroom. I got nothing to do with it. But if it is something that is going to be negative to the growth of this country, we got to ask our people what they think about accepting these people. So maybe we have to meet the consensus of the Liberian people. I can't stand here and say, personally, this is where I'm going
So
to go.
in your mind, how do you think it negatively affects the growth of the
I
nation?
said it was a conditional statement. I didn't say it was going to. I said if it does.
But you don't see it.
So let's look
But
at
so
that.
right now, if it is something that's rife within our society, I don't see it trending because majority of the Liberian people now go the traditional way. Except there's something I don't know about. Y'all tell me. I'm missing something here. Are we invited?
We're not getting a clear-cut answer, though.
So, okay, let's go to women abuse, single parents who abandonment. A lot of Liberian women are raising children all by the fathers refuse to show up, and even now the trend is also turning. Women are also leaving children with the fathers. So, what do you look at single parenting if you come to the picture?
Thank you for that question as well. From my belief, the family is the microcosm of society. We all will agree. So to hold a family together is something that is very important to every family. I'm a family man, and I see how I fare with the larger society, because I'm there to take care of my family and make sure they are well fed. They go to school. The wifey understands that she has to be taken care of as well. It's a shame that in our society that the men will walk away from the family setting and leave that to the female to take care of. In this society where there is no jobs, how you expect for the mother to take care of those children if you walk away? So you have to be thinking very, very strongly that when you walk away, you don't know what the future of that child is. You don't know what they're going to become. So I think at the bottom of that, it asks for whether there should be child support.
Yeah, child
If
support
we
and
are,
everything.
if we are put in the office, we're going to make that mandatory. That child support is good, because it is not the fault of the child to be here. Okay? Mature people got together and procreate. So it's their responsibility to make sure that child is taken care of. My father used to tell me, look, if I do you wrong, maybe when you get older and be something, you can put me in jail. But you are my responsibility. And I'm going to make sure that you are well taken care of. That's the same tradition I have.
Let's talk about Liberia's transitional justice. Retributive or restorative justice. The many calls for the establishment of a war and economic crimes code. What's your stand?
Our party stands on that is that when there are things that are done to a whole group of people, say like the war that went on, we saw a lot of atrocities that took place, and nothing is left, without punishment. The Nuremberg Treaty that was signed after World War II set the stage for that. And I think in Rwanda also, there was this war crimes court. So retributive might seem to be a strong word, but we will leave that to the justice system to show what kind of a retribution should be done. Restorative, I think those two things can be done simultaneously, where we restore our justice system and then we punish those who have done some inimical things to our citizenry.
So now you can have the big question. With everything said, how do you see your role as a vice president?
As a vice president, yes. I see my role as a vice president as a very, very pivotal one as we see the country right now. My partner and I, the stand-up bearer and I, formed this party, and we have talked about the things that are happening in this country for a long period of time. And we asked ourselves, so what can we do? Instead of just standing on the park or standing on the side, go to parties, and we all talked about Liberia, what is our action? So we decided to form this party and come and present ourselves. Now, inside of me, there's a spirit, and I told somebody that my ancestors are pricking me that, look, you need to go and do something. You have talents, you have things that the country can benefit from. So here we are. My role as the vice president goes beyond just the traditional one, where you're going to brick tie in the Senate, or you are standing in there and trying to have these guys in the Senate do what they do. But
we're going to be able to sit down at the seat of the table, him and I, and create strategies and put together policies. Okay, that's where we are right now. So it will be a pivotal one. And I bring a lot of skills to that. My business acumen is one thing that I can stand on to bring jobs back into Liberia. So number one on the ballot, vote GDM.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can we have
Number one on the ballot.
next, please?
So we have Dr. Monriba. Welcome. Okay. So, I hit it that. Let's
Okay.
look at the economy. To what currency? When you become vice president, how do you see our currency and our entire economy? Give us a picture of what you will do to transform the economy of Liberia.
I think when I was growing up, I grew up seeing the US dollar as our currency. In the 80s,
Can you put the mark up?
in the 80s,
Thank you.
our Liberian dollar was introduced. The reality of having a single currency is eminent, but there are conditions. First of all, you have to be able to produce enough to have foreign reserves outside there. What is our production now? What is our capacity to produce the kind of things we need to produce to sell, to create that buffer, to protect our economy or our currency? That's an issue. We don't. So let us focus first on making sure our economy booms and we have that reserve. Then the question of now saying the Liberian dollar is our official currency